Hello, everyone. How are you doing? This is Japanese Craft Beer Reviews, and today I am here with Al in Japan. How's it going, sir?
Oh, yeah, fair to middling, I'd say.
Fair to middling,
It's about
and
as
the middling he's
fair to
talking
middling,
about
which
is the
is,
heat and the humidity, right?
yes,
Yeah.
yes. Maybe
It's
it feels like about 100 degrees if you can include, that sort of humidity, about 60% humidity and 32 centigrade is about 100 in Fahrenheit.
yeah, yeah.
Feels
So
like temperature.
the central part of Japan, which is where we both are, is hot now, and it's going to be staying like that for a while, we think. So, but
Yeah.
we're not here to talk about the weather, are we? No, we're here to talk about dun, dun, dun,
Booze.
dun, this beer, which is called Great Dane Scotch Ale.
Mm.
And this is a beer from Great Dane Brewing, and they are a well-known brewery in Wisconsin, Madison, Wisconsin, where the University of Wisconsin is. And this brewery started in 1994, and they've gradually built up to five brew pubs in the region. The founder is a man named Rob Roblegrio. I'm not sure if I'm pronouncing it right. He's the founder and brewmaster of Great Dane, and he had some ties to Japan. First of all, his brother is apparently a Buddhist researcher who worked at a university in Kyoto, Japan. So I think he probably came to visit a few times. And also, he had a worker who was studying, a Japanese worker named uh, Kiyosawa Tetsuya, who was a student in Wisconsin and worked at Great Dane. So he had some connections to Japan. And he actually came to Matsumoto in Nagano Prefecture in 2016 to help mentor the founder of that brewery. So, and at that time, apparently, he saw the Japanese brewing scene and got interested in creating his own brewery here in Japan. Well, word got out, and apparently JETRO, which is a trade organization that deals with international trade, a government organization trying to encourage international trade, they got wind of that and they put him in touch with officials in Miyagi, in Sendai, northern Japan, which was working very hard to recover from the 2011 earthquake which pretty much destroyed a lot of the area up there. And they're working to rebuild. And Jethro put him in touch with some officials from that area, and they encouraged him to come. And he did. He did. And apparently they did some crowdfunding and raised quite a bit of money. And they established their brewery in a place called Akiu Onsen, which is about 30 minutes outside of Sendai, which is the capital
Mm.
of the prefecture. Um, they have a restaurant and they serve pub grub and also featuring Wisconsin specialties like sausages and other local dishes, German influenced dishes from the northern Midwest. And they have several beers that they produce, and this is one of the most famous one, again, called Great Dane Scotch Ale. And
Mm.
and my screen thing is kind of messing up here, but this is a 6.5% alcohol by volume beer. It's a Scotch ale, so we're expecting something quite malty here. And in fact, according to their website, six different malts: Pils, Victory, Caramel, Munich, Carapils, and chocolate. The
Mm.
hops included. Now, I'm basing this on their Wisconsin beer, which is called the Great Dane Stone of Scone Scottish Ale. Uh, the hops are Millennium and Fuggle. So we don't know the international bittering units, but this won apparently a silver medal at the International Beer Cup in 2024. So any case, they recently reopened opened their brew pub in Sendai area,
Mm.
and we saw this beer in Osaka and decided to pick it up. Thank you very much, Al.
Yeah, my pleasure. It was
Yeah.
only 400, it was 450 yen for a craft beer, which was very persuasive.
Uh, Very,
So
very
really
much so.
inexpensive, relatively inexpensive. Yeah.
That would be about $3.10 in US dollars. And if you're
Yeah.
counting euros, €2, 65 cents. So basically pocket change. Yeah.
Mhm.
So, okay. All right. So we don't know a whole lot about this beer, but we're going to try it and tell you what we think of it. And shall we give this a go, Al?
I'm ready.
Somehow this fade out thing behind me on the Zoom is kind of making the label fade out as well when I show it.
Ah,
Here we
too
go.
soon to fade out.
I'm kind of fading out too, actually, after a hot day in Osaka.
Yeah, well, this will revive you. It looks pretty
Okay.
rich,
Okay.
hopefully.
Oh boy. So it is very, very, very rich color, in fact.
Nice
Like,
amber with the light coming through. It's like a brown amber or
uh-huh.
almost like a ruby brown amber or something. It's really quite pretty when you hold it up to the light.
Yeah. And it does have a thin off-white sort of head, light tan sort of head.
Mm. Oh yeah.
Okay. Okay. So this Scotch ale is known as the very malty style, uh, often like kind of a baby barley wine sort of thing. And
Yeah. Well, the
wow,
aroma is living up to the reputation.
oh my, five,
Yeah.
6 different malts. Interesting. The first one listed as Pilsner malt. Huh.
Yeah. On the label, it actually mentions 7 malts, but we won't worry
Um,
about that. But I just thought
okay.
I'd throw that in there.
Okay.
Wow. Big and bready, malty,
Yeah. Some alcohol fumes.
uh, maybe a little bit nutty, which,
Uh-huh.
mm,
Yeah, butterscotch sort of thing.
yeah. It's like a
Wow.
meal in your glass there.
Yeah. And so some people say this is a kind of can be a dessert beer, It's a less alcoholic sort of dessert beer. Okay.
Okay.
Interesting. Cheers.
Kampai.
Bye.
Interesting.
Well,
Okay.
what do you get?
Wow. It's been a while since I've had one, so it was a little different from what I expected.
Yes.
Not the attack is not as sweet as I thought it might be. The
No.
body's not quite as big, but that makes sense with 6.5% maybe.
Uh-huh.
Um,
Hmm. Well, based on the aroma, I was expecting a little bit more. A little bit thin, I think.
Possibly. I'm getting like a kind of a fruit malt bread, all kind of not quite blended together, but kind of coming in
Stages.
sequence.
Yeah, I'm getting something like figs or
Mm,
I think dried figs.
yeah, definitely this got figs in it. It also seems to have a not maybe a actually I'm trying to think quite what that is, but a fruit that's not a dried fruit, but maybe it's not a citrus or an apple.
Not raisin, not prune.
Yeah, it's definitely got the dried fruit. You're right on there. it's got a kind of fruit that's got a little of acidity that lifts it a little bit, which makes it seem lighter.
Okay.
I'm trying to, maybe it's a light tropical fruit of some sort, with a little acidity. And that really kind of throws me off. So it's not like, it's not all dried fruit.
Okay. I was expecting something sweeter, but it's not sweet.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. It's interesting. Very low bitterness. Mm.
Yeah, it's got yeah, that's really funny. I can't put my finger on the fruit. Something like
usually AlinJapan has the best vocabulary for flavor descriptors. Definitely.
I'm baffled. I'm baffled. Green papaya? I don't know. But something that's tropical, but that's got some acidity to it, not quite ripe. But then it's then surrounded with all of this, the dried figs and raisins, like you mentioned. And that creates an unusual kind of tension in it, that it's kind of fighting back and forth a little bit.
All right.
That makes it interesting, I would say.
Yeah, I think so.
Boy, that aroma, of course, is that just malty and big.
Very malty, yeah.
Bready. Yeah, I'm definitely nutty. I'm getting the
nuttiness,
like chestnuts kind of thing, maybe.
Yeah, I think we gotta let it warm up to really get.
There is a bit of hop interplay. I think it's hop, so I'm not 100% sure. It kind of in the background, the hops are not absent at all.
Right. Typically, the Scotch ale should not be too hoppy, though.
Yeah. This is really unusual. I don't know where it fits within the tradition of Scotch ales. It seems, I don't know if it's kind of a unique take on it, possibly, or
it just could be their take on it. Perhaps they're putting some hops in that are Millennium and Fuggle. Fuggle is certainly a British hop.
It's a pretty mild hop.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I think it's probably definitely the malt that is providing most of the character. The malts, 6 malts or 7.
Well, this beer has tricked me into downing my glass. I don't know how that happened.
How
did that happen? It's forcing me
to describe it.
Forces me to kind of to describe it. I have to keep drinking more. That's a clever. I've been taken in.
All right. I was going to say I was disappointed at first, but now it's kind of maybe bringing me around.
Sure. Yeah, I have to have another one to before I can make an objective decision.
There is no objective decision.
Yeah, I guess that possibly it's one that it is summertime, and maybe this would work better in fall, or something like that. This would be a really good fall beer.
Perhaps, yeah.
Although I kind of like
I can drink stouts in summer, really.
I'm still a sucker for big beers, and
yeah, absolutely.
Double IPAs, imperial stouts, you betcha, any time of year.
Something that makes hit you in the face. Says, drink me.
I'm coming to like this a little bit more and more as I drink it. Yeah, it's got its own twist, I guess. That's my take. I think it's got its own twist on a Scotch ale. I'd be really interested to hear what our viewers, if you've tried this, I'd really like to know what you guys think.
Right. Yeah.
What do you expect a Scotch ale to be? Is this beyond the pale, or is this within bounds of a Scotch ale?
Beyond the pale would be Irish, but
yes, it would be, wouldn't it? Yes, I thought I'd throw that in there just to trick everybody. Darn it!
Yeah.
I was caught.
I think people should go out and try it themselves and tell us what they think.
Yeah, you want
Yeah.
a bigger
So,
beer, a little fuller flavor, this will
Yeah.
do it.
Yeah. It's tasty, but we're not quite sure exactly what to make of it. So you go out and you buy one and tell us. We found this at the Akiu department store in
Yeah, if you go up to Miyagi, up to Sendai, Sendai is a pretty cool city.
Yeah.
I spent some time there. I know that abroad, if you're familiar with YouTubers, Ryotaro and Chris Broad from abroad in Japan, he's moved to Tokyo, but he spent a lot of time there, and they just love Sendai. And I think for good reason. It's got everything you can have, from Tokyo that you get in Tokyo almost, with wonderful nature and beautiful scenery, etc. So a lot to like about Sendai. It's very popular. I think for people in the know about places to live in Japan, Sendai is way up there.
Okay.
Yeah.
A friend of mine, or a colleague, who his son went to school at Tohoku Daigaku, which is you don't hear about it, but it's a very, very good school. It's one of the top schools in Japan.
Yeah.
That's in Sendai as well. Yeah. So, and he is now in graduate school at Tokyo University.
There you go.
Yeah. Okay. So, give this one a go. It is called Great Dane Scotch Ale, and 6.5%. Interesting one. We'd like to hear from you. Tell us what you think about it. Okay. Please do take care, stay healthy, and drink good beer.
Good beer.
Thank you, Al.
Yeah, you betcha.
You stay cool too.
You guys.
Okay. Bye-bye.
Yep.